Pennant Chase was brought to you by Brute. Put it on and you're ready to play. Brute.
Milwaukee Baseball MSC is by Miller Genuine Draft, by Century Foods, by Coke, by Team Tires Plus, by Hoover, and by the Discover Card.
Welcome to County Stadium. Matt Vasgersian and Bill Schroeder along with you on a lovely Easter Sunday afternoon. This one off to a precarious start from our television end. Certainly nothing wrong with the start on the field, but we apologize for our late broadcast start. This one is in progress. Brewers have put a runner aboard with 2 away. That's Fernando Vina at third for Jeremy Burnitz, who has a 1-2 count on Brian Bohanon. We had some technical trouble on this Easter Sunday morning that prevented us from starting on time. Our apologies, but we certainly need to give kudos to our technical crew here this afternoon that did a wonderful job getting us on the air in a timely manner.
Kind of had a power surge at County Stadium last night that literally blew up the production truck. A lot of people doing a lot of work trying to get us on the air. Gary Kirby and everybody down there. Great job.
What you have missed doesn't amount to a whole lot. Fernando Vina opened the ballgame against starter Brian Bohanon with a base hit. He stole second. Jeff Cirillo came to the plate next. He drew a walk. Mark Loretta batting third in the order, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play that advanced Vina to third. And now it's 2-2 on the number 4 hitter Jeremy Burnitz. To try and bring you up to speed further, Brian Bohanon, a last-minute replacement for the scheduled starter this afternoon. Bohanon, the left-hander, is in there this afternoon in place of right-hander Bobby Jones, who had some back spasms yesterday and was scratched this morning. So this one not quite getting off to the start that we thought it would at 1:05 this afternoon. A different Mets starting pitcher, the left-hander Bohanon in place of right-hander Jones. That has realigned the Brewers starting lineup, and we will go over the Brewers starting lineup for you in a moment. Full count pitch to Burnitz is sprayed foul. Let's run down the starting 9 while we have a moment. Vina, Cirillo, Loretta, and Burnitz, the top 4. Burnitz up there currently. Marquise Grissom in center bats number 5. Newfield in left will hit 6. Shortstop Jose Valentin the 7-hole. Catcher is Mike Matheny this afternoon. He bats 8th. And the Brewer starter Paul Wagner bats number 9. Wagner pitched a 1-2-3 first to start the ball game.
Yeah, Wagner came out of the chute right out of the gate looking good. Struck out the first batter he faced and pretty much trouble-free. Alfonso hit a deep fly ball to left field that stayed in the ballpark for Mark Newfield. And there you see the numbers on Brian Bohanon. And in 3 games, he was in the bullpen the first 2 games of this series. He has started 2 games already this year.
Full count pitch to Burnitz, a swing and a miss, strike 3. So the Brewers put a couple of runners aboard against Bohanon, but a double play ball and a strikeout gets him out of trouble. We played an inning of baseball from County Stadium. The Mets and Brewers scoreless.
New cell phone, huh?
Got it for free. Hello? Free call waiting. Free activation.
You could sign up with a lot of cellular companies and still not get everything Ameritech gives you for $19.95.
Free voicemail. Shh, don't move. You're sitting on the one with free minutes.
Get a free Motorola phone, 50 free minutes, free call waiting, and voicemail, all for $19.95 from Ameritech.
Good news, David, is that we got the net. It hasn't come out of the high for for some reason.
We'll just take the roof off.
So, talk to these guys. We're not live.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me.
The Hoover Steam Vac Ultra has 5 rotating brushes. Plus, it has a powered hand tool with 2 more brushes. It cleans like a whole crew of professionals. So, you know, there's really no comparison.
Hoover knows.
Steam Vac Ultra.
Does it like you?
Funkmaster Flex here to give you a quick hat lesson. Peep the hat. Where you wear it and how you wear it. Know what I mean? We got the starter hat. Respect it. Anything else is the wrong hat. Lesson 1. You take the hat with the logo right here. You wear it to the back. Stays out of my view. Lesson 2. When you're out with the fam, incognito tip. You wear it gently on top of your head.
My mom don't want me messing up my hairline.
When you want to do it New York style, you just go like this. That's the way you wear a starter hat. Don't forget Funkmaster Flex told you so.
Top half of the second inning, Husky, Baerga, and McCray against Brewer right-hander Paul Wagner. 0 through an inning of baseball. Matt Vasgersian, Bill Schroeder, producer-director Gary Kirby. Happy Easter Sunday, happy Passover. Folks watching us at home, perhaps done with a meal with the family, tuning into Brewer baseball on this wonderful Sunday afternoon from County Stadium. Butch Husky 3 for 9 in the series. Brewers and Mets at it Friday, yesterday afternoon, again this afternoon, and once again tomorrow, a 4-game wraparound series that will conclude with tomorrow's 6:05 start.
And those wraparound series, not all that common in Major League Baseball, but the second one the Brewers have been involved in the first 2 weeks of the season.
0-2 on Butch Husky. Pitch from Wagner, runs away. A ball and 2 strikes. The Brewers starting play this afternoon, tied for second place in the National League Central Division at 7-3. The Brewers and St. Louis Cardinals just a half game behind the Chicago Cubs. Similar story for the Mets in the East at 6-4. They're a half game back of the surprising Philadelphia Phillies at the start of play this afternoon. And of course, everybody scheduled in action today on Easter Sunday. Bobby Valentine, entering his 3rd year as manager of the Mets, took over late in '96 and guided the team to a surprising finish last year, and he's back in New York with a lot of player personnel input in '98.
Well, the story in this series so far has been the pitching. Statistically, the 2 best teams in the National League on the mound. New York just ahead of the Brewers.
Husky with a shot back up the middle. There's a base hit to lead off the second for the Mets.
Now another pitch out over the plate for Butch Husky. The Brewer pitchers have been working Husky away the entire series, and he picks up his 4th hit.
Second baseman, number 8, Carlos Baerga.
Here's Carlos Baerga now, 1 for 9 in the series here at Milwaukee. He was hitless yesterday afternoon, 0 for 5. First base runner against Paul Wagner on Husky's single. Paul Wagner got a nice ovation in front of the home fans here when he was introduced prior to the start of this one. And after retiring the first in order, getting the side in order, he got an equally large round of applause.
A lot of folks from Slinger out here today, I'd imagine. That's where Wagner is currently residing. Slinger, Wisconsin.
Truly Paul Wagner's home debut. They pitch out, Husky goes nowhere, count to 1-0. And certainly fans that have been following Paul Wagner's career, as he is a Wisconsin guy, familiar with how the Brewers put the meat hooks into him. I tell you, he was excited for the opportunity to come and pitch in Milwaukee as the Brewers signed him in September of last year. He was released by the Pittsburgh Pirates after arm surgery. Husky running, pitch to Baerga, fouled away.
Well, Wagner's first outing in Florida, a bit erratic, but he hadn't thrown a whole lot before that start in Florida. Walked 6. Did not get the decision. Threw the ball well. I talked to Wagner. He was not very happy with the performance. A couple of outs short of getting a decision. Came out in the 5th inning. You have to pitch 5 complete innings, but overall very happy after not throwing for almost 2 weeks due to schedules and rain in spring.
Ball and 2 strikes on Carlos Baerga. Well, as we've seen with Cal Eldred, when a pitcher, a power pitcher, the likes of Wagner, the likes of Eldred, when he goes through that rehab process following major arm surgery, that's exactly what Wagner had. Torn ulnar collateral ligament in the right elbow.
Yeah.
Your velocity will come back, but it's not going to be the same from day to day. 1-2 to Baerga, fly ball into center for Grissom. in the glare, tracks it down for out number 1.
A good off-speed pitch by Wagner. That's one of the pitches he was working on a lot in spring training. Taking a little bit off. Normally a hard sinker, a four-seam fastball, and a slider. They see him take a little bit off. Baerga out in front, and that's why he popped it up. Good changeup that time by Wagner. He's going to need that pitch as a starter. He can't get by with just 2, particularly when both of them are hard.
So 1 gun for Brian McRae. McRae hit leadoff yesterday afternoon for Bobby Valentine. Indeed, as this is the 3rd game of the series with the Mets, Valentine has used 3 different leadoff hitters, and we'll run down the Met lineup for you. We haven't had a chance to do that due to our technical problems getting started this afternoon. Count nothing and 1 on McRae. McRae hitless yesterday, 0 for 3. A ball and a strike on Brian McRae. Edgardo Alfonso led off on Friday. Yesterday, Bobby Valentine used McRae. Today, he's got Rich Becker atop the lineup. This Met club still searching for a successful offensive formula. We've talked about that at spots this series, Bill. Without Todd Hundley out there, it's been a struggle.
Well, anytime you take 40 home runs and 100 RBIs out of your lineup, that's what Todd Hundley, the catcher, was able to do last year and the year before. A manager's job is to find a winning combination. Move guys around, see what works.
Let's look at Bobby Valentine's starting lineup this afternoon. As you see, the 3rd different leadoff hitter in as many games for Valentine. Rich Becker atop the lineup card. Alfonso, Olerud, and Husky. Baerga, McRae, catcher Tim Spear spots Alberto Castillo today. Ordonez, the outstanding shortstop, bats 8th, and their pitcher Brian Bohanon in the 9th spot. There goes a runner from first, and it's a shot past Loretta into right. Husky will lumber into 3rd, and the Mets have put runners at the corners with 1 away.
It looked like another off-speed pitch from Wagner. It's a 3-1 count. Not a bad spot for it, but Brian McRae able to wait back on it. You can see him waiting back and sizzling it down the line. Loretta holding the runner on at first base was in, and that's why he was not able to come up with it. Husky had to stand on second base, was not sure where the ball was. Ends up on 3rd.
So runners at the corners for the Mets. They were the first to score yesterday afternoon, and now it's Tim Spear. Spear was 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter Friday night. This is his first start of the series. Mets club is carrying 3 catchers in the absence of Hundley. And that's just how big his presence is in the lineup. You need 3 guys to really get close to his productivity.
And they're not. You're talking about 3 guys that are very capable defensively, but that's why they have 3. You expect them to pinch hit a lot for the catchers that they have this year, and that's eating up a couple of roster spots, kind of tying Bobby Valentine's hands in different ways. There's a situation Wagner really going to have to keep an eye on Brian McRae. He likes to run. 1st and 3rd, good time to do it.
McRae leads the Mets with 3 stolen bases. He is yet to be caught this year. Wagner very much aware of it. This is an unusual roster when you talk about the Mets of '98, as they carry 3 catchers. They carry 12 pitchers. Does not afford Bobby Valentine a lot of flexibility in other areas, certainly. But all that is subject to change, of course. The 1-0 home swung on and missed.
Not much production from the bottom of this Met order. That's a pretty good slider. Paul Wagner deciding to stay hard to Tim Spear. 7, 8, and 9 hitters, not much offense.
Strike at the knees, 2-1 and 2 now on the catcher Tim Spear. Paul Wagner had a good spring training. Pitching coach Don Rowe, manager Phil Garner, very encouraged by the work that Wagner did in the spring. There goes McRae on 1-2. Pitch misses outside. No throw down by Matheny. That'll be an uncontested stolen base for McRae, his team leading 4th.
Well, Matheny would have liked to have made a throw, but the pitch was way outside and low. He really didn't have an opportunity to get rid of the baseball. A good jump by Brian McRae, who's got great speed, but you can see the pitch down and away, and Matheny with no chance.
So 2 runners in scoring position. Double play no longer on, and the 2-2 misses to Spear. Good block by Matheny. 3-2 now, full count.
Well, you talked about Paul Wagner and spring training. He and Steve Woodard were battling for that number 5 starter job, and Woodard really threw the ball well. And so did Wagner, but I think as Phil decided he'd rather have Woodard in the bullpen for spot starts like he did the other night when Mercedes showed up late. Not a bad situation. You have 2 guys that can go either way.
No, certainly not. Wagner misses low. Ball 4, that'll load him up. Well, as Bill mentioned, Wagner guilty of 6 walks. His first start of the year at Florida back on the 5th. Loaded him up here for Ordonez. He was truly the hero of the day yesterday for the Mets, not only with his game-winning single, but with outstanding defense that twice robbed the Brewers of what looked like run-scoring situations. Loaded for Ordonez, 1 away, top of the 2nd, scoreless from County Stadium this afternoon.
Well, Ordonez has been known for the last couple of years as the best shortstop in all of baseball. Dazzling plays, makes the routine ones. The play that really saved the day for the Mets yesterday was, oddly enough, off the bat of Cal Elger with the bases loaded. A diving stab up the middle ended up turning a double play.
Way out in front there, 1-1. Husky at 3rd base, McRae at 2nd, Spear at 1st. And 1 away for Paul Wagner as he works to Ray Ordonez. Now, Brewer fans who were unfamiliar with Ordonez, I should say, certainly became familiar with him all too quickly after the great plays yesterday. Squares around to bunt. Wagner will get there. Flip to Matheny, who tries to barehand to get the out at the plate. Nothing doing. Husky scores, and it's 1-0 Mets.
Well, not sure how they're going to rule that, but a bit of indecision between Wagner and Matheny. Matheny figures he's got to go after it. Wagner's got it. Matheny gets caught in between and goes back, tries the barehand, and didn't work. Boy, it looked like a safety squeeze because the runner at 3rd base was not running on the pitch, and that was Butch Husky. And the play works. Right about now, you figure get your out at 1st base, at least get somebody out. Butch Husky had a pretty good chance of getting hurt on that play, kind of between a slide and a standing up.
Also, when you consider the fact that Matheny was moving back towards the plate, any catcher will tell you that when both of them are moving, both of them are going to fall.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you have experienced on a couple of occasions, my friend.
It's a good thing that Husky didn't decide to run Matheny over on that play, because Matheny was hung out to dry. He was reaching back, trying to grab the baseball, and those knees were extremely exposed.
We're going to credit Ordonez with a sacrifice. Also crediting him with the RBI. He reaches on the fielder's choice. They're still loaded with a run in. And it's a pitcher, Brian Bohanon, 0-1.
Kind of a strange play that you don't see a whole lot of. Well, at the end of this play, watch Mike Matheny's knees. Watch the legs, the position that he's in. Very easily, if Husky hit him in the wrong way, he could have blown a knee out. He got lucky.
1-1 to Bohanon, ripped foul. An unusual play, even more so when you consider where it came from, the Met dugout. That's not your typical Bobby Valentine strategy with the sacks full.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that you're going to see in this league, though, when you've got the 8 and 9 hitter. Normally the pitcher's spot in the 9 hole, and you got the bases loaded. Your team is struggling to score runs. You put plays on, particularly with a guy like Ordonez, who handles the bat very well. We've seen him bunt a couple of times already in the series. One of those guys that's just pesky. He knows how to beat you, finds ways to get it done, doesn't he?
Well, he got it done yesterday, I'll tell you.
With the glove, with the arm, will throw the bunt down. He got a base hit on a 1-2 pitch off of Wickman yesterday. Guy you hate to play against.
Ball and 2 strikes now on Brian Bohanon. Wagner set. Pitch to Bohanon is lined into left. That's going to drop for a base hit. It'll score McRae. 2-0 Mets.
Oh, Wagner getting a little bit too much of home plate on the 1-2 pitch. The pitcher, Bohanon, a pitch up and out over the plate. He just makes contact on it and dumps it into left field, and Brian McRae able to walk home, and the bases are still loaded. Well, you wonder if that bunt that Ordonez laid down kind of shook Wagner up a little bit. Plays like that will kind of get you out of your groove.
We've already seen some pretty good hitting pitchers in the National League in just a little over a week's worth of baseball. Bohanon can certainly be considered one of the better hitting pitchers in the NL. He's a lifetime 206 hitter, and that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but for a pitcher to be bringing a career batting average anywhere over the Mendoza line to the table can be considered pretty tough.
Well, coming into the ball game, he was 1 for 1, so he has not made an out this year.
Well, the Mets actually used him as a pinch hitter twice last year. I mean, imagine that. Still loaded, and back to the top of the order, Rich Becker, a strikeout victim in the first.
Yeah, imagine being the position player that you have the pitcher hitting for you. How would that make you feel?
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough.
Bases loaded. Call you back. Brian Bohanon walks out with a bat. Man. Nah, that's not what happened. Bohanon probably hit for a pitcher late in the ball game.
Wagner with an 0-1 count to Rich Becker. Becker is 1 for 7 in this series with 6 strikeouts. He's really struggling to make contact early in the year. As a matter of fact, he's had 29 at-bats and has struck out in 14 of them.
Yeah. That's not like Rich Becker. He strikes out more than an average leadoff hitter. He had some pretty good years with the Minnesota Twins as a platoon player. But you hate to have your leadoff hitter striking out that much.
You may have noticed as we went over the Mets starting lineup that they are without the services of their red-hot left fielder Bernard Gilkey this afternoon. Gilkey getting the night off, the afternoon off, I should say. And Becker's in left in place of Gilkey. Not only is Gilkey the hottest bat in the dugout, but he is a career near 400 hitter against Paul Wagner.
Yeah, you certainly don't mind having him on the bench. I would expect if this game is close, middle innings, late innings, we're going to see him, though. Nice job by Mike Matheny blocking that low pitch.
Two runs in for the Mets here in the top of the second. Paul Wagner still dealing with the bases loaded situation. The 2-2 home to Becker, a comebacker with a shattered bat. Home for 1, back to first, they double them off. Score the inning-ending double play, 1-2 to 3. Wagner gets out of a bases loaded situation. The Mets do get 2 in the second, however, an inning and a half into it, 2-0 New York.
Family out for a Brewers game and only pay half price for upper grandstand seats. Compliments of Henry's salad dressings. The savings continue all season long during Henry's Upper Grand Slam Tuesdays. Receive an additional $1 off per ticket for each redeemed Henry's Pourable Salad Dressing neck label. Call 414-933-9000 for your half-price Tuesday tickets. That's 933-9000.
You have a good time tonight?
Oh yeah, too much fun. Too much fun. Just mingling with everybody. I had a nice time, you know. Oh, it was pretty bomb. It kept me boogieing, you know what I'm saying? I was getting into the groove with the ladies, having a nice time.
You're grooving with the ladies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? You meet all kinds of ladies?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about a couple ladies you met tonight. Do you remember any of the names?
I don't remember none of the names, you know, but, you know, I wish I can get some numbers though.
Oh yeah?
Having a ball with the Brewers, mercy me. There's at least 100 ways to win on MSC. When the LA Dodgers or the Cubs are in town, we'll be knocking them all down to the ground. Come on, with the Brewers, we're having a ball on MSC. Come on, the Brewers are on MSC.
Home half of the second inning, Grissom, Newfield, and Valentine against left-hander Brian Bohanon for the Brewers. Marquise Grissom in the series, 2 for 8. A couple of 1 for 4s against the Mets over the past couple of days. Grissom carrying a 7-game hitting streak into this one here this afternoon, the longest current streak on the club.
Marquise off to a start that he would probably tell you is a bit slow. Average isn't all that bad, but Marquise has come up quite a few times, at least in this series, with runners in scoring position and has struggled somewhat.
This is the Brewer lineup this afternoon, as we were unable to get this to you earlier. Vigna, Cirillo, Loretta, Burnitz, Grissom, Newfield, Valentine, Matheny, Wagner. Lined out to left, and a fine diving catch by Rich Becker. That one got up into the wind, and it looked like it was going to carry away from him. Nice effort in left field.
Boy, Becker gets a great jump on this baseball. He played center field in the first couple of games in this series, but that ball hooking away from him and just picking it up before it hits the ground. Nice play by Rich Becker.
Rich Becker with the goatee and the ultra short do atop the head, starting to look like a shorter, squattier, a little more buff version of Jay Buhner.
He did, didn't he?
Mark Newfield now on 1-0 grounds to third base for Edgardo Alfonso. Gets him at first, 2 gone.
And now you take a look at the defense for the Mets. We've seen Rich Becker, what he can do in left field. Brian McRae, Butch Husky, Alfonso Ordonez, Bayergan, John Olerud around the horn. Tim Spear behind the plate, and Bohanon on the mound.
Here's Valentine now. He was hitless 0 for 4 yesterday afternoon. Struck out 3 times. Had a tough afternoon against Masato Yoshi, who was impressive a night ago.
Everybody had trouble against that particular guy. He had some good stuff. Good off-speed pitches. As you mentioned, you're taking a look at one of the problems that you have as a manager when you lose your number 3 hitter in John Jaha. You had Valentine batting third against right-handers. Now you got Loretta in there.
One hop to Alfonso. He's up with it and gets Valentine, and Bohanon gets the Brewers in order in the second. 2 innings of baseball complete from County Stadium. 2-0 Mets. You're watching Milwaukee Brewers baseball on MSC.
This place is going bananas. The chiropractor with a clothesline. Ouch! Low blow. What is this? Oh my! A boot right between the eyes. Where are the referees? It's unbelievable. It's over. Now when the hitter lies all over, punching the doggies is gone. My legs are aching. My back feels like breaking. But the move fills my heart like the sun.
For over 40 years, Century has provided you and your family with nothing less than USDA choice beef. No one else in town can make that claim. That's one reason why we've earned a reputation as having the finest beef around. But it's not the only reason. You see, at Century, our experienced butchers make sure you're getting the juiciest, most flavorful cuts possible. And they'll either trim to our quarter-inch standards or custom cut it to your specifications. Even more reasons why every great meal starts with Century.
Tires Plus, like no other tire store.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me.
The Hoover Steam Vac Ultra has 5 rotating brushes. Plus, it has a powered hand tool with 2 more brushes. It cleans like a whole crew of professionals. So, you know, there's really no comparison. Steam Vac Ultra.
Does it like you?
Well, let's take a look at the Hoover pickup of the game today. It was a double play. The 1-2-3 double play. Wagner with a good throw to Mike Matheny. And just nips Becker at first base for the Hoover pickup of the game.
Really got Wagner out of what could have been further trouble in the second. 2 runs did come across that inning, however. And it is 2-0 Mets as we pick up the top of the third. Alfonso Olerud and Husky for the Mets. A couple of runs on 3 hits for the Mets. All the action coming in the second. Well, we welcome into the broadcast booth on this glorious Easter Sunday, a beautiful day for baseball at County Stadium, Brewer great Gorman Thomas. Gorman, welcome.
Thanks, guys. Nice to be here.
Good to have you up with us. Grounded is short. Valentin over to Pickett. Good play. Gets it to first.
Well, you're taking a look at 2 pretty good shortstops in Ray Ordonez, Jose Valentin. A good play by Valentin, ranging up the middle. Knew he had some time. Valentin and Ordonez both blessed with great throwing arms. What do you think of this Ordonez kid out there at shortstop, Gorman?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Must be nice to have young legs like that. Not to mention a lot of ability.
One gone for John Olerud. Lined into left, a knock for Olerud with 1 away.
Oh, Wagner getting the ball up a bit in the strike zone the last couple of innings. That fastball up around the belt, and Olerud, pretty good hitter, not trying to pull it, goes right with it. So what do you think of this National League stuff, Gorman?
I think it's a treat, to be honest with you. I mean, you look at it as a fan. I mean, you're seeing in person the people that you see on ESPN. I mean, all we ever saw was the highlights, and you know, I'm an avid ESPN watcher. Come 5 o'clock when the first show's on in the morning. But I mean, it's really nice to watch these guys.
What, are you bucking for a job with those people all of a sudden? Listen to you.
Well, if they'll hire Harold Reynolds, I mean, why can't I get a chance? I mean, Harold, I mean, yeah, he does a great job, but yo, gotta have a little splash.
I could see you doing that.
I could see myself doing that too. I could do it.
Well, what the heck's wrong? You got to get your people on this.
Well, it's going to have to be a remote broadcast because it's a long way from the the studios in Connecticut from here. Uh-oh.
That one's hit well.
Blow, wind, blow.
That's up into Gorman land, halfway up, almost all the way up that bleacher in left field. Home run for Butch Husky is his second of the year. 4-0 Mets. That ball didn't have a chance.
Well, the one thing we know is that Butch Husky likes the ball out over the plate. And Gorman, you know that any home run hitter, a big, strong guy, likes to get his arms extended. And that's the 5th time that Husky has gotten a base hit. This time, watch where the pitch is. Out over the plate, middle away, and he extends those big arms, and he didn't need any wind with that one, did he?
Well, I tell you, it's too bad we didn't have that big flag we had on opening day. At least it would have hit it. If he come back in.
Carlos Baerga now after the home run by Butch Husky.
I tell you, I think we ought to start pitching him in a little bit. What do you think? Every one of his hits has been out over the plate.
2-1-1. You know, Butch Husky's a guy who, at every step of the way through the minor leagues, had people talking about how he's too heavy to play, doesn't have a position. 1-1 home is popped into center for Grissom, 2 away. But he just continues to hit the ball real hard and hit the ball a long way. I don't care what kind of size you bring to the table when you can hit like this guy does. Estimated distance on that home run, by the way, at a rather conservative 415 feet.
Yeah, Greenberg's got to get another measuring tape, huh?
Oh, he had to put the Easter eggs up. Probably robbed some little kid's basket this morning.
Brian McRae, the batter, now with 2 away.
So, Gorman, watching these games here at County Stadium, a National League game, what do you see as the big difference between the clubs coming in here as opposed to the American League teams?
I'd have to say just basic knowledge. You really don't know what the tendencies are. You really haven't seen the guys do it unless you played against them in spring training. So I think you depend an awful lot on the unknown and also just on the scouting reports that your scouts pump in for you. So that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard.
2 balls and a strike on Brian McRae, rather.
I think basically the game's still the same. It's just, just knowing what to expect.
If this league change happened when you were a player in the middle of your career, what would you have done over the winter to prepare for a new league?
Probably what I always did. Just look forward to the start of the season. But from what I understand, I mean, I have no way to know this for a fact, but from what I understand, this is supposed to be a fastball league. And just from the games that I've seen, I don't see that. I see a lot of breaking balls.
There's one that's hit on the ground to second. It eats up Vina. And McRae's going to reach. It's a play Fernando Vina makes 99 out of 100 times.
Well, it looked like he took his eye off the ball for a split second, rolled up his glove, and that's all Brian McRae needed. Thinking about making the throw before he has the ball in his glove, and that'll happen. Catch it first.
Score that as an error to the second baseman, Vina. 2-out base runner now with 2 in, and it's Tim Spear, the batter. More importantly, Gorman, how has the change to the National League affected things down at Gorman's Grill?
The food is outstanding as always. Obviously, you guys never come down here because y'all probably still have the first quarter that y'all ever had. And if it's not free, y'all are not going to show up. But there's been some additions and some withdrawals. Get it.
McRae running. The throw down is not covered until the very last moment by Vina. It gets past him, and it's an easy stolen base for Brian McRae, his second in as many attempts today.
It looked like a cross between a delayed steal and a real steal. Just a normal steal. You can see it didn't have any problem from Matheny, but Vina really late getting over to the bag, and that's why the ball went off his glove. Normally you're going to see Vina or Valentine waiting there for the throw. This didn't look like he got a good break off of first base, and that's what froze the middle infielders.
That was the only way I could ever steal bases.
Freezing the infielders?
Well, honestly, I mean, like you said, it was a delayed steal, looked like, and I mean, you're not stealing it really off the catcher, you're stealing it off the middle infielders.
Yeah.
Because they just, after the pitch is thrown, catcher catches the ball, the first thing they do is look down at the ground and they're pawing at it with their foot.
Yeah.
So that's who you're stealing it off of, because the catcher can actually double pump, nobody there,
yeah.
Can't do anything about it.
Ball and 2 strikes now on Tim Spear with McRae in scoring position. 4-0 Mets. Mets got 2 in the second and 2 here in the third on the Husky home run. For fans that are not familiar with what we're chatting about, Gorman Thomas has his grill down here at County Stadium. Gorman's Grill. A personal invitation to everybody tuned into us out of the Milwaukee metro area that may not have been to County Stadium in a while. Come on down here and visit with Gorman at the grill.
Do they just go ahead and put everything on your tab?
He's made it very clear that it won't be free. What are you getting for a burger down there these days?
Wait a minute, you mean I wasn't talking? Nobody could hear me the whole time when you were offering to buy the state of Wisconsin abroad? Everybody? I mean, they need to follow up on this.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Spear. Swing and a miss. Bounces away from Matheny. He throws down to first. They get the out on Spear, and the inning is over. The damage done at 2 on the Husky home run. Middle of the third from County Stadium. Mets on top of the Brewers 4-zip.
No, I don't need vinyl siding. This is an apartment. I can't get away from these salesmen.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim. This is for you. Hello? Make sure you deal with a pro, like your GMC dealer. It's closer than you think. Here, let's take a look.
Right now, get a GMC Sierra regular cab with low 1.9% APR GMAC financing and average finance savings of $25.61. See your southeastern Wisconsin GMC dealer today.
Oh, no, don't get it.
Every minute of every day, opportunity knocks. Do you answer? Everin Securities. Our business is making money work.
You've always known Century has the finest beef, lamb, and veal. And those quality standards are used for everything we sell. Whether buying USDA choice beef, produce, dairy, fresh baked goods, or any of our assorted products from the deli, you know it's of the highest quality. And that's important, because when it comes to your family, nothing but the best will do. So remember, every great meal starts with Century.
And the pitch. Swing of the line drive. The ball passed away. Allen shaking. Which is North America's most popular big game animal.
Shaquille O'Neal is not with
Oh, look at that. You've got Fox Sports News.
MSC, your ultimate sports connection.
Fans, join us tomorrow for the conclusion of this 4-game series, the last of the 4 between the Mets and Brewers. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the Milwaukee area. You can tune us in on WCGV TV 24 and through the rest of the state of Wisconsin on Midwest Sports Channel. Mets on top of the Brewers through 2.5, 4-zip. It'll be Matheny followed by the pitcher's spot, and then the top of the order, Fernando Vina against southpaw Brian Bohanon. Matt Vasgersian, Bill Schroeder, joined by Gorman Thomas in the broadcast booth this afternoon. You know, I saw your old buddy Jimmy Gantner the other day. He's still hanging around here.
Free food.
And he said, tell Gordy, wish Gordy a happy Easter when you see him on Sunday.
I got his Gordy all right. I want to tell you. There's so many names that we called him. I guess on the here we could start off with Klinger, off of MASH.
Klinger, the Jamie Farr character?
Yeah.
He doesn't look like Klinger.
Well, when he went around first base that one time, and he went rolling across out by the second baseman, Fingers called in from the bullpen and said he looked like Klinger running around with one of your heels snapped. Henceforth, a Klinger.
There's a pitcher, Paul Wagner now. One away as Matheny flies out to right.
That's not to mention some of the clothes that he wears either. You think Marv Albert's the only one? I mean, Euchre told me he put away a lot of his stuff after that.
Grounded back up the middle. There's Ordonez. What are we going to do with that guy up the middle?
I don't know. Ordonez, I'll tell you, he can go up the middle. He can go in the hole behind third, come in, range back. That's why they call him the best shortstop in the game. Watch the play. Wagner looks like a base hit, but nothing doing. Off-balance throw right on the money. This kid's a highlight film in himself.
Two gone. Back to top of the order, Fernando Vina. Gorman, you got any real fond baseball remembrances from playing on Easter Sunday? Because certainly when you're playing big league baseball, it's not a real family day. You're at work all the time.
No, not really. Every day was just another day, to be honest with you. I mean, that's not taken away from any special days like Memorial Day or Easter, you know, Mother's Day or Father's Day or whatever. It's just that, I mean, you're playing a 162 schedule. You get up in the morning, 7 o'clock for a day game, 6 o'clock, whatever time it is. You're at the ballpark at 9. For an evening game, you're here at 1:30. I mean, same old, business as usual, to be honest with you.
Were you here for Tony Migliaccio's Easter egg hunts in the Brewer clubhouse?
Ouch.
That got Vina right on the lead shoulder.
You're not going to hurt him. He's tough. No, I wasn't. I mean, I was not a party to that, but I hear tell that I was accused of hoarding them, if you will.
No, actually, you were accused of your lockers smelling like you were hoarding them for a couple of weeks.
I'll have you know that I like shower fresh sure, and just sitting in this booth here for about 10 odd minutes, there's this unbelievable aroma, and it's not coming from a burning tire in a can out in the parking lot. It's one of you two guys, and seeing how y'all have a wonderful time jumping my chain all the time, I just let everybody needs to know this.
Here's Cirillo now. He takes a strike from Bohanon, 0-1.
Wasn't it Marvelous Marvin Hagler that says I find it extremely offensive in that commercial?
Anything else less will be uncivilized.
Uncivilized, mein Herr, yeah. Y'all got me jumping around here like I'm sitting on that hot.
Grounded to third for Alfonso, who throws out Cirillo. Brewers have not been able to manage much of anything. Don't touch me. Against Bohanon through 3. We played 3 complete. We'll continue visiting with Gorman Thomas as we continue. We head to the 4th, 4-0 Mets.
It's the Great Jeep event, and great deals on your favorite Jeep vehicles are showing up wherever you look. Like low lease rates on the Go Anywhere Grand Cherokee Laredo. Great values on the 190 horsepower Cherokee Sport. And great buys on the always capable Wrangler. The landscape will never be the same during the Great Jeep event, brought to you by the most award-winning brand of 4x4s on earth. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
Experience the chance of a lifetime at Potawatomi's Showcase for High-Stakes Bingo, located just minutes from downtown Milwaukee. You could be our next $2 million winner in our new Las Vegas-style slot area, now open 24 hours. For details on bingo times or special events, call us at 645-6888 or 1-800-PAYS-BIG. Potawatomi Bingo Casino, offering over $5 million in payouts daily.
Well, the good news, David, is that we got the pit. It hasn't come out of the high board, but for some reason, I can hear
We'll just take the roof off.
So, talk to these guys. We're not high. Tell them we have a
Ship your package in 2 days with FedEx. And you'll run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 days with UPS. And you'll run into 7 different price zones.
Ship your package in 2 to 3 days with Priority Mail. And there's just one price zone.
So, what's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Sit out there in the Euchre seats.
Coming up next, MSC delivers the best of the best on the Fox Formula One auto racing. See racers from all over the world compete in the Argentine Grand Prix in Buenos Aires. The track heats up today at 4 p.m. only on MSC, your ultimate sports connection.
There was only 4 cars in the race today. That's all I had in me.
I'm glad that race is today.
So stop making noises when you're trying to read. Ordonez leading off the top of the 4th for the Mets. Ray Ordonez followed by the pitcher Brian Bohanon, then top of the order Rich Becker here against right-hander Paul Wagner. Wags has given up 4 runs on 5 hits through 3. Ordonez tomahawks a fly ball to left. That carries all the way to the track in this wind. Newfield gets to it to put it away.
That's a tough wind that these right-handed hitters are trying to buck, but it certainly didn't hurt Butch Husky a whole lot. Without the wind, that might have been a home run. Pretty much blowing in from left center field.
Here's a pitcher, Bohanon now. Good hitting pitcher, a .206 career hitter. This is an anniversary day, I believe, partner, in the history of Team Streak, is it not? Speaking of wind, was this game 12 Rob Deere home run into the wind.
Game 11.
Game 11.
No, it wasn't. You're right. Game 12. Because we went to Chicago the next day. Excuse me for doubting your
Easter
knowledge.
Sunday. You were there, you know. Come on, man. I would have believed you.
I was in the bullpen. I caught the home run that Dale Swaim hit.
0-2 on Bohanon.
Yeah, big Easter Sunday comeback win. Rob Deere hitting the big 3-run home run with 2 outs against Greg Harris.
What was that, 87?
87.
I was mowing my grass and having a Miller Lite. I remember that. I remember that very well.
A couple of batters later, Dale Swaim off of Greg Harris hit one into the Brewer bullpen. One of the most famous Brewer games of all time.
Ball and 2 strikes on Brian Bohanon. That doesn't miss by much.
What was the biggest game you ever played, Gorman, as a Brewer?
Too
If you
many.
had to pick one.
Too many. Too many. I'd tell you, okay, let's come up with one here real quick. I'll tell you, it's the first game I came back as a Cleveland Indian. That by far would be number one, because I mean I've never been that nervous in my life, and just the reception that I got, and it was kind of it was ironic because in Cleveland, prior to coming back here, I would get a daily update, if you will, from the front office people.
Cirillo handles Bohannon's ground ball, 2 away.
The front office people in Cleveland would say, well, okay, we're expecting a better gate now that we're going back because you're here, okay? And then going on and on and on and on. And I think the advanced gate was supposed to be like 5,000, and I don't know what it was here. It could have been 5 million people here, and I wouldn't have known. I was so nervous. But oh man, what a great day for me that was. I mean, just a great feeling. Just the people coming out and saying, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's it was very well received, and it was a memorable day in my life, that's for sure.
What'd you do that day? Did you get any hits?
No, I didn't. I got a base on balls, I think, the first time up, and against Sutton, and if I'm not mistaken, first pitch I took off the second, stole second, because they told me I couldn't run anymore. So I said, well, we'll find out about this. Thank you. I don't even know who was catching. I guess Teddy was catching, and I think I surprised everybody in the house. But I think the next day I went deep and hit a home run to win the ball game for us.
1-1 pitch to Rich Becker, grounded towards a hole on the right side. Vigna's there to smother it. They get him at the bag. Wagner gets the Mets 1-2-3 in the 4th. Midway through inning number 4, 4-0 Mets. You're watching Brewers baseball on MSC.
Would you ever buy a car without a test drive?
Never.
Well, then why do people buy stereos and never listen to what they're buying?
Well, they may not realize that every stereo sounds different. At American, you won't find warehouse racks. You'll find our stereo equipment hooked up so you can listen to the combinations and find one that's right for you.
So if you wouldn't buy a car without a test drive...
Then you shouldn't buy a stereo without listening. And now many stereos include no money down, no interest till the year 2000.
American, the low price and so much more.
Meet the Brewers during Ohio Casualty Insurance Autograph Friday. Each week prior to Friday's game, 6 to 10 players and coaches will be on hand for autographs. Plus, Ohio Casualty Group of Insurance Companies will provide a black and white player picture card during each autograph session. This is our thanks to you. Join the Brewers and Ohio Casualty Insurance, where extra effort is their policy, every Friday all season long. Call 414-933-9000.